Abraham Lincoln, the leader who united a nation and abolished slavery. Abraham Lincoln, 1809 to 1865, was the 16th President of the United States and one of the most significant leaders in American history. He led the nation through the Civil War, 1861 to 1865, preserved the Union, abolished slavery, and strengthened the federal government. His leadership, speeches, and tragic assassination have made him a lasting symbol of democracy and freedom. Early life and education. Humble beginnings. Abraham Lincoln was born on February 12, 1809, in a log cabin in Hardin County, now LaRue County, Kentucky. His parents, Thomas Lincoln and Nancy Hanks Lincoln, were poor farmers. At age 7, his family moved to Indiana due to land disputes in Kentucky. Self-education. Lincoln had less than a year of formal schooling, but loved reading and educated himself. He borrowed books whenever he could, including the Bible, Aesop's Fables, and the Life of George Washington. His stepmother, Sarah Bush Johnston, encouraged his learning, moved to Illinois, and early work. In 1830, the Lincoln family moved to Illinois, where Abraham worked as a farmhand, rail splitter, and store clerk. He also served as a captain in the Black Hawk War, 1832, before pursuing a career in politics and law. Early political career. Illinois State Legislature, 1834 to 1842. Lincoln entered politics in 1834, winning a seat in the Illinois State Legislature as a member of the Whig Party. During this time, he studied law and became a self-taught lawyer, passing the bar exam in 1836. He later moved to Springfield, Illinois, and built a successful law practice. U.S. Congress, 1847 to 1849. Lincoln served one term in the U.S. House of Representatives, where he spoke against the Mexican-American War and slavery. However, his stance was unpopular, and he did not win re-election. Return to politics and the Lincoln-Douglas debates, 1858. Lincoln returned to national politics in the 1850s as the debate over slavery intensified. In 1858, he ran for the U.S. Senate against Stephen A. Douglas. Their famous Lincoln-Douglas debates focused on slavery and states' rights. Lincoln lost the election, but his speeches made him a national figure. Presidency and the Civil War, 1861 to 1865. Election as the 16th President, 1860. In 1860, Lincoln was elected President of the United States as the first Republican president. His victory alarmed Southern states, who feared he would abolish slavery. As a result, 7 Southern states seceded before he even took office. The American Civil War begins, 1861. On April 12, 1861, the Civil War began when Confederate forces attacked Fort Sumter in South Carolina. Lincoln's primary goal was to preserve the Union, and he called for volunteers to fight against the rebellion. Key events during the Civil War. 1. Emancipation Proclamation, 1863. Lincoln issued this order to free enslaved people in the Confederate States, shifting the war's focus to abolishing slavery. 2. Gettysburg Address, 1863. A famous speech where Lincoln emphasized democracy and national unity, stating that the U.S. was a government of the people, by the people, for the people. 3. Re-election in 1864. Despite the ongoing war, Lincoln was re-elected and continued working to reunite the nation. 4. End of the Civil War, 1865. On April 9, 1865, Confederate General Robert E. Lee surrendered to Union General Ulysses S. Grant, effectively ending the war. Assassination and John Wilkes Booth's plot. Just days after the war ended, on April 14, 1865, Lincoln attended a play at Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C. During the performance, John Wilkes Booth, a Confederate sympathizer, shot Lincoln in the back of the head. Lincoln's death. Lincoln was taken to a nearby boarding house, where he died the next morning, April 15, 1865. His assassination was a national tragedy, and he became the first U.S. president to be assassinated. Legacy and impact. The abolition of slavery. Lincoln's leadership led to the passage of the 13th Amendment, which officially abolished slavery in the United States. Preserving the Union. His determination ensured that the United States remained one nation instead of splitting into 2 separate countries. Symbol of freedom and democracy. Lincoln is remembered as a leader who fought for equality, democracy, and justice. His face appears on the U.S. penny and the $5 bill and the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. honors his legacy. Abraham Lincoln's journey from a humble log cabin to the White House is one of the most inspiring stories in American history. His leadership during the Civil War, dedication to freedom, and tragic death made him one of the greatest presidents of all time.
If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our upcoming stories. Leave a comment to share your thoughts and feel free to like and share this video to inspire others. See you in the next one.